Now, this is a stream that I like to see. Welcome everyone back to the second run of the day here at the 20th marathon in order of the anniversary, the 20th actually, of Metal Gear Solid 2's release in the US on November 13th. In that honor, we brought on another great Metal Gear runner, and this time we're going to see Metal Gear Ghost Babel by Plywood. Plywood, please take over.
Thank you, House. Hi, everybody. We're going to be playing Metal Gear Ghost Babel, the Japanese version of this fantastic 2D Metal Gear game for all of you. Playing it on easy difficulty today, which will be exciting because I don't think I've run easy difficulty in a marathon before. And the easy run is pretty neat on its own, a good entry point to this game. So that being said, let's get this show on the road in 3, 2, 1, go. So I usually open this up by saying that Metal Gear Ghost Babel was released in the year 2000, and it was the last 2D Metal Gear game ever made. But funny enough, there is like a spiritual successor indie game called Unmetal that came out that is sort of kind of like the next 2D Metal Gear game ever made. So this is the last official one made. How about that? And it's an alternate sequel to Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. Instead of Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, this game happens, and you go back to the same area where Metal Gear MSX took place. And there's a new fort, new baddies, new Metal Gear, coolest 2D Metal Gear, period. Fight me, Metal Gear D. Game is split up into 13 stages. This is stage 1. First stage is pretty simple. Anyone, I really do mean anyone, can get the world record of 35 in this stage. It's mostly just hold up the speedrun, but things will get a little bit more tricky as we advance into the game as well. This is the hardest screen. You have to do a nice little thread there, do a small delay so that you don't get spotted by the guard on the right, but not so much that the guards that turn spot you as they go down the bridge. Other than that, stage 1, pretty simple. If you think I can do that, I assure you you can. Anyone can get a 35. And before anyone asks, as far as I know, 34 is not possible. We've tried. Not just me, other people have tried quite a lot. So, stage 2, we're entering the Fortress Gallowade. We're going to be introduced to cameras in this stage. Thing is, with easy is that there's fewer guards and fewer cameras, and Snake also takes less damage overall. Various things that make the run easier on easy. But even if this run is easier on easy, if you're learning this game, things come fast and furious. The screen transitions happen pretty quickly, and the movement's a lot more complicated compared to Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, thanks to the 8-way movement that Ghost Babel has. So on this screen, we're going to do a one-punch buffer, and that will perfectly space us to not get spotted by that guy. And then we're going to do a little dip. Oh, I failed the dip. That's the Tony tap, but I failed the Tony tap. Sorry, Solid Tony. It's okay, though. We'll move on. But you can't actually, like, you know, get around that guy and avoid getting spotted. I got lucky there. Hopefully I get lucky here, too. Nice. Dealing with guards is something of an art and something of a science. The best way to manipulate guards in this game is to hold diagonals, because diagonals will allow you to keep on moving in a certain direction, but the guards will shoot where you're not at anymore. So if I'm holding down right on a wall going south and I pass a guard, he will shoot down right because I'm holding down right, and he'll just end up shooting the wall. So things like that are very helpful in this game, but still the guards can be a bit random, not completely consistent. But we do our best to manipulate what we can manipulate. A little background about me in this game. I've been running this game for over 4 years at this point, and have contributed to the routing of every difficulty in this game. It's been a really wild ride with me and Ghost Babel. And after looking at easy with others, including Solid Tony, CDOS, Lucky Rapid Flower, I came to the conclusion that this difficulty really is the place to start. Because even though, for me, it's a little bit more basic, there's such fewer challenges. Like, there's supposed to be guards that I was supposed to deal with on the higher difficulties going over to this door to exit this stage, but they weren't there. So you just go pick up your card and exit. It's pretty straightforward. You don't have to deal with running on alert or doing fancy schmancy lines to avoid getting spotted. 131, not bad considering I got knocked down. Ideally, you get like a 129-ish there. So stage 3 has the first skip in the run, water skip. This is typically where a lot of people hit their first wall when learning this game. I will be going for a safe setup for the water skip. The first part is still tricky, like I could still fail it, but the second part of water skip I'm gonna opt out of because the frame window is very tight, very, very tight. The nice thing about easy is that you get to learn and work on your fundamentals, and you don't have to worry about dying so much. Snake is an uber tank on this difficulty, whereas even on normal, things become very difficult. So the goal of water skip is to cross a screen transition at the same time as a water wave is crossing. And there's different ways to set this up in terms of the timing. You just have to hit the screen transition within a certain frame window. I do a setup that involves 3 punches and waiting on the ladder for a certain period of time based off of a visual cue. Hopefully I get this first try. I've done this many times, but it's still tight. So here we go. That wasn't too much. Nice. So that's water skip. So the wave crossed at the same time I was crossing. This is the part where I just wait. If you're really good on your timing, you can actually get hit by that water wave and not get knocked back. But the timing is very tight, so I'm just going to opt out of that and lose a few seconds. No big deal. The first one's the most important one. Now we are entering the tower, and we have to go find our contact, Chris Jenner. Basically like the mayoral figure, or oh man, the name of the character in Metal Gear 2 is escaping me. Sorry, Minnie. I was trying to use diagonal there to manipulate the guard to shoot diagonal, but sadly I didn't time it quite right. Which then causes the next guard to hit you. Mistakes in this game really cascade or domino. So if one thing changes your timing, another thing will be affected. The cycles, especially as you get into very hard, are really tight. You have to know exactly where you're moving on every screen. And that is probably the biggest challenge with this game, is just knowing, okay, this screen I do this screen I do that. So, get our level 2 card. This is a really fun screen. If you move well enough, you get a 1-second time save, which I nailed. If you get caught up on a wall or anything like that, you're going to have to knock out that guard, which we do not want to do. I mean, 1 second time loss is not that big of a deal, but still. So, elevators. This game is compared based off the in-game timer. There is a trick we're going to be using throughout the run, where I pause right there, and the elevator animation plays, but the menu pauses the IGT, and same when the elevator opens. So, even though the animation plays, I do not have the IGT ticking. So that saves quite a lot of time throughout the whole run. There's a lot of elevator rides. And what you'll normally see me do is I'll do my menuing in there just so I'm being efficient real time. So right here, you see that guard shoots diagonally down right as we pass him by going down, because I was holding down right on the wall. And we go through the spiral here, take the right path. Hopefully this door is open. That's what I want to see. Yep, door is open. No need to shoot the gate here. The door is open. Head up left right here. Boom. That's just something fancy. The guard didn't actually see me. That's just something I do thanks to going for rank 1 runs. That was another place where a well-timed diagonal causes the guard to attack a certain way, and he actually did not see me at all. He still attacked up left like he saw me, but he didn't actually see me. Otherwise, you would have saw the alert timer go back to 999. So here's Chris. She has quite the survivor's guilt as the story develops. Here's Black Chamber. They're a bit like Dead Cell or Foxhound or these squads. I think they're more Dead Cell than Foxhound, though. A bit more Dead Cell-ish. And that's Blackguard's Viper. We're going to meet him at the end of the game. We're going to meet all these funny characters. They're a laugh a minute. Real riot, those guys. So stage 4 starts pretty slow. We're just trying to exit the tower. It's pretty bleh, but once we get outside, things get pretty exciting. If you're a dog fan, you're gonna love stage 4. So Chris is going to guide us outside, but we're actually not going to follow her on the second screen. And this is thanks to a routing improvement that Bad Humans made. Big shoutouts to Bad Humans. You know, I'm obsessed with this game, but I think Bad Humans is more obsessed with this game than I am. And he's made some really fantastic routing improvements, not only for the big boss run, but for the other difficulties as well. Really cool strat. So the game makes you want to think, I should follow Chris right, but we're actually going to go the way we came last stage, and this saves like 4 seconds on the travel time. If you go the top route, you can pick up chaff, but chaff are completely useless. Like, I'm not even kidding. They are now completely useless. At one point in the past, they had a valid use, but there is now a glitch that we use that allows us to completely not need chaff. There's like no point in picking up chaff. So that's great. This guard, oh, he actually attacked. Earlier today, he just was pacing up and down, being like, I don't know what. Oh man, it's Solid Snake. What am I doing? But he didn't do that today, sadly. I was really hoping, because it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious to watch. What I like to do is I crawl into doors as I'm waiting for the elevator. That way I'm as close as possible to the door and facing in that direction. You know, if there's dead time, you should utilize it as well as you can. Okay. So ignore everything else. These alerts are fine, they get scrubbed. There's some alerts that we do not want to take, but those are alerts you will not see me take because I'll avoid them. Most of the time, though, we can just take alerts. Now, if you were doing the rank 1 strats, where you're intentionally avoiding alerts, it's a different story. But we are doing any percent today. Rank 1 is fun in this game, though. No question. And they both have their unique challenges, because any percent dealing with guards on the fly during alert can be quite challenging. Okay, so we are now outside. Hip hip hooray. This is a puzzle. The solution to this puzzle is based off of what button this guard presses. So I'm going to press the first button once, the third button once, the fourth button 3 times, and then the first button once. It's not random. There's 4 options, so that part's random. But other than that, it's not random. Just need to get the doors into a certain position and then remove them. After that, we're going to meet the puppers, the Frankerzies, outside, who are only in this stage, which I'm very happy about, because they are one of the scariest enemies in this game. They have a diamond cone vision, and they will wreck your face super fast, especially on the higher difficulties. Nice little line from Casino Coin to avoid getting hit by that guard. Hope I don't get hit too much there. Nice. Another 1-punch buffer just to perfectly position ourselves in our timing. Another little tricky room in easy. One of those few rooms that are harder on easy compared to normal. All right, we're gonna just hope we don't get hit here. Nice. That attack, their leap attack lasts a very long time. If you're familiar with the Twin Snakes dogs in the cave, it's kind of like that. Very precise line here. Just boom, thread the needle. Again, their cone of sense is pretty huge, so you got to be careful about that. Now this next screen coming up is probably the hardest room if you're doing rank 1, but we're just going to run wild through this room and pick up the R5 assault rifle, which is conveniently sitting over here. That's our gun for the rest of the game. Again, avoiding the dogs. I probably won't need this, but I'm going to take it anyways. This ration, just in case. No reason, it's a very small detour. So we have our first boss fight of the game, Slasher Hawk. He's an Australian Aborigine who throws wilgies, green and red boomerangs. The green one zigzags, the red one is linear. It's not that threatening on easy, but on very hard, this is one of the scariest, if not the scariest boss in the game. So here we go. It's just about timing out the iframes. A little too early. So now in phase 2, he sicks the bird on us. Bird is really slow on easy, not very threatening. But he does not actually throw boomerangs while the bird's flying around. Ooh, just a narrow miss there. The boss theme in this game is a rendition of the Metal Gear 2 Hind D boss fight theme. Several songs in this game are Game Boy remakes of the Metal Gear 2 soundtrack. So like the alert theme is the same alert theme in Metal Gear 2. My memory serves me correctly. So Slasher Hawk is done. Drop a rose for S-Hawk as we move on to stage 5. This stage is pretty infamous if you play casually. It is the box sorter maze, but the box sorter maze is a-okay as long as you know where you're going. Casually, it is a lot of trial and error. Pretty annoying. I get why people do not like this stage. Totally understandable. In the speedrun, I actually think it's pretty fun. Especially when you're running the higher difficulties. The conveyor belts are a nice chill point of the run. So we just picked up our first cardboard box. We're going to be picking up 3 during this run, folks. Take a little detour to pick up those grenades. Get our yellow box out. Get ready to ride. If you have a cardboard box at home, I welcome you to go inside. True facts, I did the math. You want to go right outside of that elevator, not left. You go left, you'll lose frames. I've done the analysis, folks. Another thing here is holding the direction of the travel. So we're going to move along with the conveyor belt. Don't move against it. Go with the flow. Folks, if there's anything I've learned, you got to go with the flow sometimes. Don't fight it. Be one with your box. So this first one is just a pure auto-scroller. There's nothing for us to do here since we have no options. Now we are going to go pick up the red box. And some more grenades. We're going to be using a lot of grenades in this run, folks. Flip by that guard. Tight line. Nice and simple. We really don't want to get caught here. If we do, then we can't ride the elevator up, so this is one of those places where you do not want to get caught. You'll notice that you can actually interact with the elevator panel from the right side, rather than going to the elevator panel. Nice little courtesy they gave the game, so that you don't have to be perfect on your positioning. Makes sense since it's a Game Boy game. And if you ever played a Game Boy Color like I have, you'll know that the screen is not so great. Not so great. But we can use that for our advantage in a speedrun. Okay, so now that we have the red box, our goal is to pick up the next level of card. Apologize for any Discord boops and bleeps you may be hearing. I don't know if you're hearing that. If you are, I apologize. I'll fix that soon. Switch the red box here. Well, I will fix that after this stage is over. Those are not coming from your Game Boy Color, folks. Sweet. You want to actually wait for this guard to pass. Sometimes it's just better to let the guard go. So that right there is the cam shot. That's something Rapid Flower discovered. It is a very strange... Oh man, turn. Okay. Very strange glitch. If you shoot the gun, cameras at certain distances will not see you, and it has to be an unsuppressed gun. Very odd. Very, very odd. We don't use it too much in easy because there's not that many cameras, but it completely changed our routing for very hard specifically. It was a really awesome find. And pretty much every camera is its own thing. Like sometimes you want to be close to the camera, sometimes you want to be a little bit far away. It depends. Oh man, my Game Boy Color is buzzing right now. My notifications are off the hook. Game Boy Color is now a PDA. Actually, it's a pager. So normally there's a guard over here on the right side on the higher difficulties, but because he's not there, this room is pretty dang simple. Pick up the blue box here. Once again, there's supposed to be a guard here on the higher difficulties, but out to lunch. I mean, just as well, I would have murked that guy, had no qualms about it, so good on you for not being here. Sometimes going AWOL is the best choice. Nice little distraction. Woo, Nelly. So, one of the things about distractions in this game, knocks or walking on noisy floors and the such, is that there is a real chance that the guard at any point can look left and right on that path. It's just pure dice roll, whether they do it or not. And you have to be ready for that stuff because it could really screw you up. It's both annoying and exciting when it comes to the speed run. This is anytime you do a distraction strategy, particularly on the big boss run, you always need to be on your toes and know your backups. So if it wasn't enough to know all these highly precise lines, you also need to know, what do I do if this guard looks left and right at this point? Ghost Babel, everyone. Don't worry, I'll silence my Ghost Babel Game Boy Color beeper after this stage is over. So we're coming up to the thermo goggles skip, a very key skip. This saves I think like 3 minutes or something, 4 minutes. We are going to be using an audio cue based off of the music to know when to move in this darkened room. So here we go. So once the third set of percussion taps complete, you can move on ahead. We used to use punches to time out our movement, but after teaching Solid Tony specifically this game, I was like, there has to be a better way. And we figured it out. Use the music, because the music is consistent. And it's a lot easier than trying to pace out your punches a certain way. Punch strat is dead. Music reigns supreme. Which is very fitting, given that my second run of this marathon will be a music game that came out in 2001. You can check that out on Saturday night, folks. Alright, so the next one's a little bit more complicated. Timing's a bit tighter, but as long as you know your audio cues, you're all good to go. And there we go. Thermo skip complete. We do the blue box here, blue then red, alphabetical order. And that's stage 5, pretty clean. I got knocked down once, I think, when I was picking up the C4. Set up the C4 in the corner, make the proper distance, and there we go. Let me mute Discord here. There we go. All right, I muted my pager, everyone. Paging Mr. Solid Snake. Paging Mr. Solid Snake. Take a nice sip of water as we meet Dr. Jimmy Harks. Kid Genius. He has a side gig as a tomato, according to a Mr. Jaguar King. Which, bringing up congratulations to Jaguar on a child. It's very exciting. Originally, Jag was going to be in this marathon, but fatherhood comes first, so big congrats to him. Fellow Ghost Babel runner. Fellow Metal Gear runner, period. I mean, he runs a lot of games in this series. So Jimmy notices that we don't have the thermal goggles, so he's like, oh, I smuggled this in. Here you go. You're going to need it. The power just went out in the barracks. So we're going to be running through this place in red vision. I hope you like the color red. So you're going to be seeing it a bit. This guard is sleeping on the job. Tut, tut, tut. I believe it's right there to throw the stun. Yep, I got it. So that's a manip. If you throw the stun at just the right spot, no guards will spawn. It's very strange. I'm also going to throw a stun here. And this is going to open up the doors. Saves a little bit of time because there's several doors I need to exit and enter here. Just slip by these guards in the dark. As you can see, card doors are open. Thankfully, they still work, and that is really unlucky, by the way. That sometimes happens, but it's pretty uncommon for that guard to hit you. Thankfully, we can take the hit. 1, 2, 3. Once you see Snake's feet, stand up. We're going to have a short comic relief codec. I assure you it is comic relief. I didn't even mention why we're playing the Japanese version. It's actually the fastest both real-time and in-game time. The in-game time revelation did not happen until fairly recently. Literally in the last stage of the game, the IGT ticks when you think it wouldn't, and there's dialogue that happens, and the other versions of the game are slower because of it. But only slightly. Otherwise, they're completely comparable, but the script is significantly shorter on Japanese. Like, you're saving 5 minutes or so. Roughly about. From English to Japanese. And this is a fairly long game, so... You know, my estimate's 1 hour 20, so add another 5 minutes just to deal with script for playing the English version. So now we are going to fight Marionette Owl. The very creepy story that we're not going to get into, but the TLDR is that he wants to harvest our bones, so we're not going to let him do that. The thing is, this fight's a little bit different on easy because usually Marionette Owl starts spinning really fast here after you shoot him, but he doesn't on easy, which is kind of annoying. Oh, this is the worst pattern. That's cool. Okay, so he's in the back. If you shoot a certain doll, one of the dolls will actually make Marionette Owl fall when you shoot that doll, but only one of them. The other one, that won't happen. You gotta shoot Marionette Owl as he's flying around, hiding within the dolls. That is the worst RNG pattern. It's called stacking dolls. Can show up in any position in that stack. I got that pattern earlier today too. Completely random, but it wasn't too bad of a fight. So, goodbye, white silhouette on a red background. We'll never see your lip ring, Marionette Owl. We are moving on to stage 7, one of the shortest stages in the game. Another stage I would say that if you want to grind an IL in this game, grind stage 7. 0:42 is the fastest time you can achieve. It's pretty tight, but it's completely doable. It just requires precise pickups of mines, which I will be picking up in a moment here. So I'm going to crawl early and stand up late kind of thing, just so I don't misjudge this. But you can basically drop on the mine, crawl for a fraction, and then stand back up if you're very precise about it. Sadly, the codec, due to Game Boy sound hardware, it takes precedent over the sound of you picking up the mine. Even though you didn't hear the pickup, like it just seemed like I was crawling for no reason, I did actually pick up mines there. If you answer the codec, then you would actually hear the click, but we don't have time for that. I know where these mines are, it's fine. So that was Metal Gear in all its glory. Metal Gear Gander. We are not going up this hill, and Snake is perfectly positioned here to avoid these artillery. He's really pondering whether he should move. Sometimes he just needs an order from Colonel like, you should move! Don't get killed! Get out of there! So, this little dialogue here only happens to have the radar on, but I highly suggest anyone running this game to run with radar on, because it helps you more than it hurts you. Okay, you might have heard the click there. It's a little tiny click, click. Another click, click. Okay, so like I said, 42 is the fastest. That was going to be a 44, just because I'm playing it safe. If you're on the ball, you know, and you're playing well, you're a capital G gamer, you get a 43. Sadly, the artillery is random. It can strike at any moment. Check out this guy's speedrun. He recorded on a VHS tape. It's him talking. If y'all know about the dude that was in the UPS or FedEx commercials back in the day who would talk like a mile a minute, that's that guy, actually. So stage 8 has a huge skip in it. Absolutely massive skip. We're going to be picking up the Nikita missile launcher. We're supposed to go to the second floor of this power plant. We are never going to the second floor of the power plant, and we should all be thanking our lucky stars because that saves like 4 minutes or something. You have to go through a maze and crawl through vents. It's a pain in the butt, so we're not doing that today. We're never doing that ever, period. During this stage, we're going to be in here in stage 8 and stage 9. We're looking for... Oh, wow. This. You see this? I'm very glad I saw this here. That is extremely good luck. Extremely good luck. So we're looking for these exposed points on pillars on the walls, because we are going to need to set C4 at 4 of them on the next stage. And we are very happy to see that one. That is the best RNG. If you see that pillar, that is very good RNG. However, there are still 3 pillars to go, so just because you had good RNG on your first pillar does not mean you still didn't have bad RNG. There is a possible way to manipulate the pillars. I actually I, along with some other people, have set up a bounty to make a RTA viable RNG manip for the pillars. So if you're interested in earning some dough and making this game way more tolerable, please check that out. I would really love you for that. So that's like one of the worst things about running this game is the luck in stage 9. Hopefully this is the one and only time I'm crawling through a vent. Please cross your fingers that I do not have to crawl through another vent. It's very, very slow. Very, very slow. Okay, so we're going to be throwing a grenade at an electricity box to prevent... I didn't want to get spotted by that guy. That's fine. Okay, there's no pillar there. We're getting the juicy Game Boy lag. That guy's doing the fancy step. You got card 4. Blow this up. Okay, we didn't get this spot. I have to keep track of this stuff, folks, just so I keep myself in check. So there's not a spot there. See if we got this spot. That is good. I mean, I have to go in the basement, but that's still a good spot. It's right by the elevator, so I'll take that one too. Okay, now we're going to do the Nikita Skip. So essentially, what we're going to do is exploit the fact that the electric floor is only electrified at the start. If you position yourself just right, you can use iframes to avoid, well, get past the only part that's electrified. And this is going to be key to the Nikita Skip. We have to do this twice, and they're both different. The first one is easier than the second in my book. The second one's a lot more stressful because you're on alert. So here we go. Should be good. Yep. So he just walks on through. Do a cam shot here so I don't get shot by this turret. Pull out our C4 here. Go through this developer intended shortcut. Boom. All right, that's 0.3. Perfectly positioned C4 and Snake to get through that floor. Please stop hitting me. So our RNG is actually really good so far. Really good in my book. I just need to see one more spot before I actually say this is good luck. So far, always it's so far until you see the final and fourth spot. All right, this is Pyrovise, and a lot happens in this stage. There is a cycle exploit with his animation that we're going to use in this fight. I'm gonna pull out my rations just in case. If there's a place where I'm going to need a ration, it's this stage. So I just watch for his elbow to get sharp twice, and then shoot. Very simple. Good run on that stage. Quite happy with that. Parabison's a lot more dark than the Fury. How many people did I kill? I think I've killed one so far. He does question you about how about like the murder you've done. A lot of the intrigue starts really hitting hard at this boss fight. As always in Metal Gear games, things aren't what they seem. I actually quite like the story in this game. I really recommend everyone to play this game casually. Very cool game. Quality game. Perhaps the best Game Boy Color game. I'll say perhaps. I haven't played every Game Boy Color game, but it's definitely up there. Sadly, you can only buy the cartridge of this game. There's no digital store for this game. It only ever came out on cartridge. This is a shame. If Konami re-released this game, that's spot 4. All right, I am really happy right now, folks. That is fantastic luck. There's only one pillar that was bad. My movement can be bad. That's okay. So, possible world record incoming? We'll see. Don't want to jinx it. Like, the only pillar that was bad in this was that one in the basement, and honestly, that one is completely acceptable, folks. Like, that is a fair pillar, very fair pillar, because it's right by the elevator. So you just go down, drop it, and you're done. You don't have to walk. Sometimes you have to go really deep in the basement. And it's a huge chore. Huge chore. We still go up here, though, because we need a package of C4. There's a pillar spot up there as well, but fine, we already know. We already know. You know, I know. We're all here together, folks. We're all here together. Celebrating Metal Gear Solid 2's 20th anniversary by celebrating a game that turned 20 last year. Just go along with it. Though, if you play this game, there are references to Metal Gear Solid 2. So they are actually a bit more linked than you think. Okay. Oh, don't forget. All right. Open this door. It's okay if I get spotted here, no big deal. The alerts actually clear faster on easy, which is a problem if you're going for rank 1, but it's quite beneficial on any percent. So cam shot, and it's a very strange trick. Has to be an unsuppressed gun, you have to fire a bullet. I don't know. It's just a ghost Babel thing. So yeah, my heart's a little bit jumpy right now, because getting good ghost Babel luck is pretty uncommon. I've run this game quite a bit. Most of the time you get average or bad luck. Or it's just like a mixed bag. This is super juicy. Super, super juicy. Let's go, chat. Let's go. So they're gonna blow up the power plant right now, because we have no time. We have to do the action hero exits. And we're going to do the thing you're not supposed to do in a burning building, which is ride the elevator. It's a very unsafe building. There's no staircases. So we're stuck with the most anxious elevator ride of your life, hoping it doesn't, fall apart. There is actually a line to avoid this fire, like you perfectly diagonally cut it, but otherwise you just damage boost yourself through it. Oops, I didn't mean to press that button. I'm playing on a controller I don't usually play on, so it's my excuse. All right. So I think that's going to be a 2-minute exit, which is really, really good. I think it's like a high 244, really good, really good. I mean, if I had perfect luck, it would be more like 220-ish, because the elevator does take time. But again, like when that's the only spot that's not great, you're living good. Getting a 2 on stage 9 is exquisite. So we are now entering stage 10. We're now in the double digits here. There's a lot of cutscenes and dark stuff happening. That guy is dead. This kid in front of us is about to be dead. This game is rated E for everyone. Even though a child blows up in front of your face. You don't see it on screen, but, you know, spoilers and all, but, I mean, you're about to see it in a few seconds here. Yeah. R.I.P. Jimmy. So there's a whole discussion of who's double crossing us, because of course there's a double crosser, and the theory right now is it's Chris. Hard to say. We're about to fight the sequel to the Hind D, the Havoc helicopter. That disconnect sound you just heard, that was Jimmy disconnecting from the game. GG, Jimmy. GG, well played. So, the Havoc helicopter has a bit of luck to it. We hopefully will delete the Havoc helicopter while it's on the top of the screen. The joke was dark. Well, I mean, this game is dark, so let's get real for a moment here. You guys, people don't realize it because most of the audience doesn't speak Japanese, and probably can't speed read that fast. Yeah, Jimmy's fine. He just DC'd. So we're going to pick up some grenades here. We're going to be throwing grenades at a helicopter because we're Solid Snake. We're a badass. You're supposed to use the Nikita, but we didn't pick that up, so we're not using the Nikita. 25 grenades. It's fine. Alright, the first grenade is consistent, but whether the helicopter uses machine gun or missiles is not. So here we go. No, that's bad. Bad movement. Nah. Bad positioning. Ah, I was trying to sneak in that throw. No! I should have picked up the ration. That's such a shame. Ah, I should have used the ration. After I blew myself up. Damn. Well, that's okay. I'm not too bugged by that. That's on me, though. Best to just equip the ration in case you're blowing yourself up. So we're gonna do that this time. Remember, folks, just equip the ration. There's no reason not to. Yes, continues add to your IGT, so I lost time there. This cutscene does not add to your time, but pretty much canceled out my good luck in stage 9, but I could still probably world record, honestly. Let's just say I can. It sounds more exciting. All right, let's try this again. Of course, this time I'm not, blowing myself up. I am missing my grenades, though. There we go. That's how that's supposed to look. Well, let's see. We'll see what the damage is. I think it's probably about 30 seconds. Try more like a minute. That's okay. I ain't phased, folks. I am not phased. A little disappointed, but not phased. This girl pulls a gun on us, but we are doing the flippy flop. Checkmate. Gun pointed at you. What are you gonna do about it? My father is French. That's what she's saying. And the sad music plays. Because I guess if your father's French, that's pretty sad. According to the game, not according to me. Nothing against the French. Revolver Ocelot does, though. Revolver Ocelot is not in this game. I don't think Revolver Ocelot is even in this timeline, in theory. Actually, I don't even want to think about that. Talk about that. My brain's going to turn into a pile of mush. So we are now entering stage 12. We promptly threw away the gun we just collected for some reason, so we don't have that pistol. So there is another Nikita skip here, but not skipping picking up the Nikita, because it's right here and we need it. We're going to skip using the Nikita by using some damage boosts, and once again exploiting the fact that the electric floor only lasts a certain portion. This guy knocked me down. Thanks, guy. These folks have body armor on, so you gotta be careful. They take more damage. This is a nice little setup. Boom. Hit the wall. Like that. I was supposed to be on the top of the wall to damage boost down, and then you're in the perfect position where you don't get knocked over again on the electric floor. So, it's a little oversight, but still got the job done. Pull out the Nikita. Fire it at the panel. The panel. The plywood panel. Ah. I'm trying to be fancy with my turns. You can turn that real tight, but not that tight. The perfect angle is like you're in line with the like white line on the wall. There we go. 2 shots, take the guy out. We don't want him. If you try running past him, he's going to knock you to the floor, so you want to kill him. Either knock him out or kill him. So yeah, you're supposed to go to the left first, and then back to the right, and then the left, but we cut that out. Because we are smart gamers. Yes, the art in this game is fantastic. It's so good, sometimes people think this is a Game Boy Advance game. But the tell that it's not is the ratio. I think the ratio on GBA to GBC, a bit different, so sadly there was never a Ghost Babel Advance. That would have been sick. But we got Boktai instead, so it's a fair consolation prize. Got the Boktai series, so you know, Boktai's cool. Check out Boktai. Man, we should have tried to get Boktai in this marathon. Boktai runners, do one of our marathons. Sun is in your hand. How you get 10-year-old plywood to go outside is Loctite and a GBA SP. So this fella right here has a path. We are not going to follow said path. Though I actually did blow myself up earlier today. See if I can do this correctly this time. I think I just crossed down left a little bit too early. There are mines in this room. There you go. That works. So this next room has thermal lasers. If we get caught, you get gassed out and you're dead. Game over. I'm not going to trust this. I should have trusted it, but it's really hard to know whether you should trust lasers. If you don't see them disappear, it's safer just to wait. And it's a marathon run, so of course I made it look like I wasn't doing a marathon run earlier, but that's okay. So we're going to be in red vision for a while, and we're going to be dropping C4 at the walls and blowing them up. I already know where all the C4 needs to be planted, so that's not a concern. Ooh, don't shoot me. Everyone, some dude named Mike and his 3 cousins named Mike showed up right there. I don't know if I really need to throw a stun here. I guess I did. I say that and I immediately get knocked down. Like, oh, I don't need stuns. Next thing you know, plywood needs stuns. Ghost Babel, everyone. Okay, so we're out of the darkness, but you won't know that for a moment because I'm not going to menu quite yet. Break this panel, get the final card upgrade of the game. No guards, they went out to lunch. On the other difficulties, they are not out to lunch, they are out to get your face. What's the next thing I need? I need the gun. That's the next thing I need. On the higher difficulties, there is a camera in here, which it used to be threatening, but then Cam Shot came along and nothing matters anymore. Use the audio of me running through that room to jabate the guard to opening the door for me. And then use that door to clear, rinse, sink the alert, however you want to put it. And now we go down to floor 98. You might be wondering why we're going so deep down. That is because in the original Metal Gear game, you take a 100 floor elevator ride to the first Metal Gear. And since this building is built on those remains, you also take a 100 floor elevator. It's just that in Metal Gear, you only learn about that through the dialogue. It doesn't really seem like a 100 floor elevator. This game, they make it very clear to you that you're going straight down into the belly of the beast. There it is. Take it easy and just pick up the stuff. Cool. That's all we're gonna pick up here. So we have a boss rush coming up. 3 bosses. 4 if you want to consider the two phases of Metal Gear as separate bosses, which is fair. They're not really linked. Yeah, fun fact, the design for Metal Gear Gander is a prototype design from Yoji Shinkawa for Metal Gear Rex, and they reused the design for this game. It's much more Evangelion-like, to the surprise of no one. I think EVA was happening at pretty much the same time as Solid 1 was being developed, if my memory serves me correctly. And Evangelion factors in a lot in Metal Gear Solid 2. So with that being said, lessons being learned about keeping your rations out, do as I say, not as I do, etc., etc. Here is Blackguard's Viper. He has a prosthetic arm, which, if you think about Metal Gear Solid 5, you'll be doing a thinking face emoji right now. He's pretty mad about it. He's out for vengeance. He also does some, magic stuff. So we just need to see which direction he's going. He's going down right. You can use the pause there to really judge it, but basically, the way this fight works, it's really weird, like if you're watching this casually, like what's going on. Basically, he opens these lines out that are tripwires that they will explode. And when the chime happens, the lines disappear. So you just loop them back and forth constantly. $7.17, not bad. But we have not seen the last of Blackguard's Viper. That's just the first boss against him, first fight against him. Yes, if you, when you get to the bottom floor, if you go to the left side, the remains of the original Metal Gear are there, which is a fun little Easter egg. Of course, kind of bizarre that they are there, because the ending of Metal Gear 1 has the whole base just explode in a mushroom cloud, but, you know, it was 100 floors underground, so maybe just like the top of the base exploded, not the bottom of it. It's just fan service. Oh, you should definitely play this game. You should definitely play this game, folks. You know, people talk about the fear of missing out. I assure you, you are missing out. If you're a Metal Gear fan, you have not played this game yet, you should play this game. You should play it. Alright, I'm going to go hard in the paint. We're going to try and get record, even though I died. I'm going to try my best, so I'm cutting out some grenades. Hopefully it works out in my favor. Godspeed, etc., etc. We got some supplies to pick up. And we have an e-cigarette to smoke. Or should I say fogger? Yes, fogger. We're going to use our fogger. So, this fella has something we need, but he's in something we gotta destroy. But first we gotta take out the legs. Very quick setup for that. Oh, I think I messed that up. I don't think I hit that. Yeah. It's unfortunate. But that's what landmines are for. So landmines are harder, but This setup is very simple. You just kind of run on the bottom and stop, plant. It's all in the time, like, the shadow moves based off of Snake's position and movement. So as long as you know how to adjust appropriately, it's not that bad. Sadly, I missed one of my C4, so... Oh, you hear that? You hear that notification? I think that's Metal Gear joining the chat. About to shoot me with its turrets and shoot missiles at me. Look, I'd rather you disconnect, okay? I'd rather you disconnect. All right, so get into a certain position here. Not that position. Oh, jeez. This position. And we want to take out those shoulder cannons. 4 Nikita missiles or 4 grenades will do it. Because when we do, we'll get bonus damage when we destroy it. Otherwise, we're just going to toss, toss, toss. The nice thing about easy Metal Gear is that a luck element does not happen. Sometimes there's these UAV, like, drone things that start hitting you, and it's a time loss when that happens. But thankfully, that doesn't happen on easy, so this fight is actually less luck dependent on easy. Sadly, we got this, which is the missile barrage. I'm just gonna sit here and fire missiles while I wait. All right, we're getting in position. Hopefully get lucky. I did not get lucky. That's unfortunate. All right. Now we just need to throw our grenades. I learned today through CDOS that you can actually get 2 throws in if you time it perfectly here. This is specific to easy. The flamethrower is slower to attack. Get my R5 out here. Okay. All right, Metal Gear has disconnected from the channel. Now we're going to get a very special item that we need to prove the conspiracy. The Ghost Babel RNG conspiracy. Actually, I conspired against myself this game, but that's all right. Still could be record, who knows? I think my record is like 3756, so who knows, maybe. Believe in stage 13 to bring us home. 3752, okay. Thank you, house. So that's the time to beat or meet. See if we can do it, folks. Fun fact, I did actually world record this game at GDQ, which was, I crossed that off the bucket list. Okay, so Blackguard's Viper, of course, back again. About to use a hidden feature of Metal Gear. Didn't actually disconnect from chat. Has a satellite uplink to cause nuclear holocaust, so not so cool. This guy is evil. If you couldn't tell by his expression. Spoilers. Well, evil. I don't know if evil. Everything's morally gray in this game. Welcome to Metal Gear. Welcome to real life. So, this fight is random. Viper can spawn in various points within this arena. Depending on our position, he will end up in various points. And also, you want to skip the dialogue that he like taunts you during this fight, and that the IGT keeps on ticking. So this is why the Europe and English carts are slower, because of him taunting you and it requiring multiple text boxes on those versions. But it's not like a huge deal, like we're talking like a few seconds, but it does make Japanese the fastest version, both real-time and in-game time. So just run JP, save yourself RTA and IGT. Especially because the longest codec in the game is literally in stage 2. So every time you reset, you have to sit through that, being like 40 seconds longer or whatever on English. Come back here. Come back here. All right. And time. Okay. How was that, folks? I think we did it. I think we beat Ghost Babel for, you know, let's say the second. No, that's not believable. Let's say this is the 50th time I've beaten Ghost Babel. Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We still got credits to sit through to see what my IGT was, since I was not doing the addition in the background here to see what my time was. It seems believable it could be record or very close. I don't know. It's really unfortunate what happened in stage 10, but that's okay. No need to cry about it, folks. Mistakes happen. There's always next run. Of course. Always next run.
And I think I can speak for everyone here. That was a grand journey. Thank you so much, Plywood, for playing Ghost Babel here for us. Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the credits theme as we wait out this juicy, hopefully juicy IGT. We got sub 115. Nice. That's good. That's a good time. That's a good time. Earlier today, I got like a 115.40-ish, but I also paused a little bit during the run to mess with the spreadsheet to keep track of my time. Outer Heaven. CIA. Number 2. Yeah, folks, if you're interested in learning this game, please reach out to me. There are resources. I got to update some of the resources on the wiki. Frankly, there's been some updates, but it's awesome that this game still gets finds and improvements that make the game overall easier and more fun to play. Whether you want to learn easy or very hard, though I recommend everyone to start on easy so you can learn the fundamentals of the game and the layouts of the maps. This game can be very daunting, but I assure you that if you think this game looks cool, it is cool. You should play it. Not necessarily speedrun it, but you should play it. Also, this credits theme, pretty great. Pretty good. Right off into the orangey sunrise, sunset. I'm not sure. Let's say sunset. That sounds good. I think this game takes place during the day, pretty much, so. So yeah, what we got coming up, folks? We have up next Pipu Saru 2001 from Sergeant Silent, and Pipu Saru 2001 is actually going to be in HDQ 2022, and Sergeant, I believe, is on backup for that run, so do check that out. So, very cool. Totally fitting that we got the 2001 game in at GDQ. Like, it all kind of like fit together neatly. And then after that, you, Mr. House, have something that you gotta do.
Yes, after that we have Metal Gear Solid versus Metal Gear Solid, and it is the original versus remake race. Myself and Nick Harper Green going to do that side-by-side for you, and it's going to be very interesting for the audience to see who will win in the end, because the game can drift apart in the script a lot during the run. So I'm looking very much forward to pushing that to you. We had only one appearance yet on my own channel. This is the first time to a big audience, and I hope everyone likes it.
Yes, I will be commentating that with Tyler 2022, I believe, and it'll be really fun to see, because I did not actually see the race you two did before, and Tyler and I are both runners of both of these games, so it'll be exciting to try to explain both games at the same time, like the wild differences. It'll be a good fun time with that. So yeah, people, stick around. The day is just getting started. Just getting started. I will be back as well on Saturday night with Gitaru Man, a very sweet and cool PS2 music game, so do check that out. There is actually a speedrun to the music game. True story.
Yeah, and if you people like races, this is the first one of this weekend, but not the last one as well. Tomorrow we have Metal Gear Solid 2 European Extreme in the race. Joseph Joestar 316 versus D-Limes. That's gonna be amazing. But maybe not even less amazing, maybe a little bit more amazing, even there's a 7-way elimination race in Metal Gear Solid 2, the Tanker. Gonna look forward to that massive amount of streamers in one go.
Yeah, that's going to be a wild time, so do check that out as well. All right, folks. What do we got? What's in store for us? Did we get a PB/world record? Ah, no. That's silly. It was sadly not going to be today, but still a very fun, satisfying run regardless. World records don't matter, folks. It's having fun that matters most. And remember that, folks. Remember that. So thank you all for watching. My name's Plywood. I'll be back. Don't you worry. If you like what you see, do check out my channel, twitch.tv/Plywood_. I run a lot of different games, like routing games as well. And I got some hopefully interesting plans for next year. It'll be pretty cool. And that's going to be it for me, folks. Thank you.
All right, folks, and then we're going to go back, prepare the next runners, and of course, see you in just a moment. Don't turn off the stream.